the Joe Rogan experience.
Now you use a lot of local ingredients, but you've also been doing this thing where you take people hunting and show them how to butcher an animal and show them how to cook an animal.
Right.
When did you start doing that?
That was in 2008, so shortly after. We started doing classes on butchery of domestic pork, which was kind of my wheelhouse. I'd learned that in restaurant work. I'd been a prep cook and a butcher in a restaurant. And being new to hunting at that point, I had just started hunting a couple years prior and was really excited about it and saw the opportunity to really kind of tie the two together. I knew how to butcher before I knew how to hunt. And so that I had a little bit of an advantage on the back end of it, but still have and still do have to this day a lot to learn about the front end of it. And I wanted to be able to share that with people because I think that hunting is a very key way to show people the importance of food. Because if you can feel sad about taking the life of a deer or a pig or a squirrel, then you can also understand what a case of carrots that is rotting at a grocery store because they haven't been sold or they don't look good enough to sell anymore. That's also sad to me. And a lot of work went into that and so much, it's immeasurable. And so being able to tie food with the source like that, with hunting or fishing or whatever, I think was really important. So we started doing classes where we were taking people out and it's guided hunts, and then you learn how to butcher, cook, and then you eat game throughout the weekend too. And we still do that to this day.
And when you do this, how many times a year do you do this?
In season, it's Texas, so it's hot. Our season typically runs, if we have a couple dove hunts or something in there, from mid-September till maybe April. So just basically the cooler and cold months of the year. So about 6-7 months.
And when you do it, would you do it on weekends? Like when do you?
Yeah, they're typically weekend classes. We used to do a lot of private events, and now I've just gone to we work with one ranch. We do a Friday through Sunday class, and in all honesty, though, our whole season this year has fairly much been booked up by people that came to previous classes. They come back. We have a pretty high return rate on those. We're about to release our schedule of those, but there's going to be very, very little seats available to those. They fill up. We do 8 classes a year for 4 people.
Yeah, you kind of would, if you're hunting too, you're going to need small groups, right? You really can't.
Yeah, it's got to be very intimate. We want everybody to see everything and put their hands on it. So it's really necessary. We have a team of guides, so everybody, if you've never been hunting before, you have a guide. We walk you through the whole series of events, like from sighting in the gun to it's this constant barrage of like learning, and it's like, this is how you put your heel down, this is the way the wind is blowing, this is the way we're going to walk to do this, this is what time of day we expect deer to move, when we expect hogs to move, why we're sitting right here, all kinds of, we're like constantly feeding information. And then once that animal is taken, we're feeding more information about, this is how you skin, this is how you gut, this is how you use the liver, this is caul fat. This is a shank. This is best for grind. This is best for slow cooking, things like that. And then we teach them how to butcher it, break it down. And then we really want them to be able to do it on their own. And the whole time we feed them game to kind of really keep it in context. Because a lot of times people have been told, you can't eat that. You can't, deer liver's no good, or venison tastes gamey to me, or I don't want to touch the hog topic yet. But, people are very opinionated about hogs, and we try to just kind of dispel those myths and empower and educate people and to be able to do it on their own. And whether or not they go and do it in the future, I don't really know, but I do think that it gives them some very good connectivity. I mean, I know people that came on a trip 12 years ago that still talk about it to me, and I think it was important. And I mean, that's really important to me and very meaningful, that it's a formative experience, even if they never do it again, but it teaches them to really value a resource. That time they killed a deer, because it's really hard to, like, for me, once you've killed that deer, if you open up a bag of beef or something, I can't help but think, like, all those animals in a field, they all had lives, they all had deaths, everything. It's like, and I think it teaches you just to appreciate resources. And once you start to appreciate that resource, maybe you'll start to appreciate all resources,
Right. You appreciate
anything.
the vegetables, everything
Sure.
else.
Well, hell, you might
water.
appreciate where your clothes are made, or
Right.
or do we need a leaf blower? Things like that.
Catch new episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience for free only on Spotify. Watch back catalog JRE videos on Spotify, including clips. Easily, seamlessly switch between video and audio experience. On Spotify, you can listen to the JRE in the background while using other apps and can download episodes to save on data cost, all for free. Spotify is absolutely free. You don't have to have a premium account to watch new JRE episodes. You just need to search for the JRE on your Spotify app. Go to Spotify now to get this full episode of the Joe Rogan Experience.